This is chapter 33 of the Dao De Jing. Dao De Jing, a text attributed to Laozi and composed somewhere between the 6th and 4th centuries BCE in ancient China. The chapter asks a question most people never stop to sit with. Not what can you know about the world, but what can you know about yourself. Zai Ren Ji Zai 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 Ji Ming, Shèng Ren Ji Yu Lai Zai Shèng Ji Qiáng, Zai Zhu Ji Fu, Qiáng Zing Ji Yu Zai, Bu Shikai Xiu Ji Ju, Sire Bu Wan Ji Shu. Knowing others is wisdom, knowing yourself is clarity. Overcoming others takes force. Overcoming yourself takes strength. To know contentment is to be wealthy. To press forward is to have will, not losing your place, that endures. To die yet not perish, that is longevity. The chapter opens with a distinction that sounds simple and arrives harder the longer you sit with it. Knowing others, reading people, understanding their motivations, navigating situations, that is wisdom. Laozi marks it with the character Chinese letter, zhai, which points toward worldly intelligence. Useful, real, but knowing yourself gets a different word. Chinese letter, míng. It literally means brightness, illumination. It is the same character used for light. The difference matters. Self-knowledge is not just another variety of knowing. It is the clearer kind. Most of us spend far more time studying the world than studying ourselves. We track what people want, how systems work, what the situation requires. The text isn't saying stop. It's saying that without some examination of your own assumptions, reactions, and patterns, all that observation stays somewhat in the dark. The next pair follows the same structure. Overcoming others, winning, dominating, outlasting. That takes force. Chinese letter, lai. It's not nothing, but overcoming yourself takes Chinese letter, qiáng, a word that carries more weight. Laozi reserves the stronger character for the harder thing. Think of it this way. Someone might be very good at arguing, able to out-reason almost anyone in a room, but if they cannot stop themselves from starting a fight when they are tired, or cannot hold a direction under pressure, or cannot admit when they are wrong, they haven't overcome much of importance. Defeating others is force. Defeating your own patterns is something else. Then a compact line, knowing contentment is wealth. This is a move the Dao De Jing makes repeatedly. It takes a word everyone thinks they understand and shows you something prior to the usual definition. You can accumulate without end and still feel you don't have enough, or you can arrive at a place where what you have is sufficient. The second person is wealthier than the first, by this measure, regardless of amounts. Pressing forward, Chinese letter, qiáng zing. Forcing yourself onward through difficulty, that, the text says, is will, not recklessness. Persistence that stays with itself through friction. Then, not losing your place endures. The word for place here, Chinese letter, suo, carries a sense of one's proper footing, one's position in the order of things, one's nature, one's way of standing in relation to how things actually work. Not losing that means remaining grounded in what you are, even as conditions shift around you. And the final line is the one that doesn't resolve. To die yet not perish is longevity. Laozi uses two distinct words. Chinese letter, sai, is physical death, the body stopping. Chinese letter, wáng, means to vanish, to be truly lost, to disappear from the fabric of things. Those who live in alignment with something larger than themselves, with the Tao, with the pattern of what is, don't fully disappear when their body does. Not because they become famous. A careful doctor who has spent decades listening to patients changes those patients. They carry something forward without knowing it. A parent who learned how to be patient when it was hard, that passes forward too. The channel closes. What moved through it doesn't entirely vanish. What this chapter is describing is not a program for self-improvement. It is a series of distinctions between what looks like the valuable thing and what actually is the valuable thing. Knowing people is useful. Knowing yourself is harder and clearer. Winning against others is possible with enough pressure. Winning against yourself requires something that can't be borrowed. The question the chapter seems to leave is not how do I become someone who knows themselves. It is closer to how often do you actually look. The difficulty is rarely that we can't, it is that we are occupied with everything else. The final paradox about dying without perishing isn't meant to be comfortable. It asks what, if anything, you are living toward that is larger than the length of your own life. The text suggests that longevity, understood honestly, has more to do with how you inhabit your existence than with how long it lasts. Not losing your place is what endures. The next chapter is 34.